Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is finals time. Yes, it is our final matchup for the evening between Blue and WestR. We've got Blue, of course, consisting of Johnny, Stamino, Fastball, and SupremeAgility going up against the guys on WestR, aka tReturn, Frostyyy, and SSaggioo. Of course, loading back in here toward some St. Marie du Mans in our best of 5 series. Of course, St. Marie du Mans for map 1, Arden Forest for map 2, London Docks for map 3. Comes down to it, USS Texas for map 4, and St. Marie du Mans for map 5. Offensive round, of course, kicking off already for the boys here on WestR. And SSaggioo actually finds a big kill there onto SupremeAgility. Now Johnny C find himself in a 1 versus 2. Yet to find a kill, I believe, does not have a nade to work with and can fire through that wooden window. No hit markers, no information gained, and kind of an awkward position to be put in as the, like I said, bomb gets planted there from WestR. Of course, it does work out in their favor. And you got to be keeping in mind, when it comes to this best of 5 series, of course, there is a little bit of a switch up. Going from best of 3s to best of 5s, your mentality has to change a little bit. But we did just witness, actually, a St. Marie victory for the guys on WestR. They won this one 6-3 not too long ago, actually, maybe about, what, 15, 20 minutes ago versus Gravity. So they obviously have a little bit of an advantage, kind of getting warmed up on that map. I believe Blue has been winning for a little bit longer of a time. But, of course, Blue taking on a number of fantastic teams so far throughout this tournament. I believe it was Zodiac, along with just beating the EU Cadets in the semifinal. So feeling pretty good. They're definitely on a run tonight, and I believe this is supposed to be their full-on roster for the rest of World War II, or at least for New Orleans, as they've added SupremeAgility to their lineup, a very well-known search and destroy player. I believe he was actually on the Bean Squad, if my mind serves me correctly. I believe he was on the Bean Squad team who finished actually just behind the what is now the EU Cadets in our second annual Memorial $10,000 search and destroy tournament. But nice kill there coming in from SupremeAgility. That's exactly why they added him to this team. And finding kills just like that totally melts Tiny in that situation, and also takes out return as well, the 1 versus 2. Fantastic positioning, fantastic play coming in from this man, SupremeAgility, as he'll give his team some nice and much-needed momentum. He's trying to get back in this match, of course, with only a few rounds of play going down, but still, it obviously pays to see it. And along with that, is now up to 3 kills in total, as we would witness how the streaks potentially could come into play on this map. And it looks like TTinyy rocking the airborne inconspicuous, along with the stuns off the start. Usually you're going to see at least one team rock those gas grenades at times. Going to be rushing toward that map, and it looks like Stamino, after firing in that Jeep, does end up taking out Frostyyy in the end. And so currently TTinyy and co from the side of WestR looking to get this bomb down shortly onto B. However, there are 2 players currently lingering, Stamino and Johnny. Where could they be? They're actually in the same position. Give me 1, give me 2, says yes! Return, I believe. Coming back. And finishing off these 2 players. Look at it, finds Johnny and backs up to take down Stamino as well. Very well played, and I was talking about they're trying to get the bomb down here shortly. Where are these 2 players lingering? Well, they're actually in the exact same position. They most likely were waiting for a bait and switch situation. Either Stamino or Johnny would have peeked out. Whether or not they find a kill, they at least die, and one of them would have been there for the trade, but it doesn't work out in their favor whatsoever. There's a great sequence there coming in from return. Nades out early, Stamino and Fastball both feeling the pressure of those nades off the start. And this is probably one team who really does prefer and kind of benefits from that recent change of the SMGs. Of course, Fastball, known for his very fast, kind of up-in-your-face play. He's kind of like a guy who, if you were able to watch the last series, when it kind of came down to Gravity, as we see another round gained, actually, to the opposite end. But if you're able to watch that last series, we talked about Animal quite a bit throughout that one for Gravity Gaming. Kind of a similar player to Fastball. Might not see as much aggressive play, but a guy who's trying to work on those first bloods, a guy who is very tactical, kind of knows what his role is on the team, and a guy who can definitely pull out some interesting strategies. I think it's fair to say. When it comes down to this Blue squad, I like the overall kind of additions that get brought because they have a lot of interesting capabilities that can be put onto this team regarding gun skill along with overall game knowledge. But still, looking on, WestR, the pretty decent advantage. Looks like they're making their way toward that A bomb site. It looks like Return needs to escape out. He feels the nade fire as TTinyy takes out Stamino with the first blood and still firing some shots. Sitting in their top building, looking over that side street as it looks like Johnny getting ready to meet his fate, gets met with bullets coming in from both Return and Frostyyy. As it's now a 2 versus 4, and WestR are right now in prime position to take this round number 5. Very quick reaction from TTinyy, but it's not going to equal out to a kill. As how does SupremeAgility and Fastball try to retake this site? Last time it was Stamino and Johnny. Now it's the other two. As it looks like Fighter Pilot and Glide Bomb earned in that in exchange for Return. If you're SupremeAgility, you're basically just maybe trying to find a kill as you kind of fade out. I mean, he's not by any means near streaks, but it wouldn't hurt for him to try and maybe pick off one, but can't even do that. He will fall. And WestR, I think it's fair to say, definitely are taking a lot of that warm-up kind of coming into this particular matchup. Beating the boys on Gravity Gaming in this exact same map only a few minutes ago. And Johnny right now struggling along with both Stamino and Fastball. 2 and 5 for them. Like I said, Johnny currently 1 and 5. Definitely not a map that really kind of favors. I think it's fair to say Johnny's kind of play style. He's more of an, well, I guess you could say now, kind of a bar STG player, more of an assault rifle player, and has been throughout his entire career. And was most notably known probably for a lot of teams, for a lot of people. Making Black Ops 3. As a kind of interesting flank gets made there from Fastball. Totally behind enemy lines. Catches Frostyyy off guard totally. Would have never probably checked his flank in that situation. So yet again, another 2 versus 2. We've seen these constantly. And it's been the guys on blue who have yet to respond in these situations. This will be the third 2v2 that we find ourselves in. And it's looking like it's going to go the way of WestR all 3 times. Unless SupremeAgility has something to say about it. Trying to enter in toward Office. Looks like he's not going to be able to find off the break, but actually goes for that mantle dive. And that actually makes him dive a little bit farther than the regular Dolphin dive. And you see TTinyy. Watch his perspective here. Just a long-range jump. But thankfully for SSaggioo, had some teammate support there coming in from TTinyy, like I said, as this one is now looking pretty grim for the side of blue. You're most likely looking at Arden Forest and saying, okay, guys, let's go ahead and talk about the strategy for this next map, because this one is definitely looking out of the picture. And TTinyy playing incredibly strong, 9 and 3 right now, throughout a lot of the maps that I've been able to watch WestR play on. It's kind of discussing and saying, you know, kind of based on TTinyyy's performance, a lot is how we see the guys on WestR do. And of course, he's playing very, very strong, and you see the overall scoreline for the team showing exactly why that's the case. 5 rounds to 1. 1 more needed. However, a 1 versus 4 could get him there. Probably not likely, but still possible. And it will be at least another one chalked up there from the side of blue as Fastball. Took him a few extra bullets, but he does get it done. But if you're on the side of blue right now, really what you have to rely on, of course, is we do see a lot of these 2v2s going down. Is honestly, I think they kind of need to rely on those first bloods. I think they really need to kind of have some SMG presence inside of B, just kind of go to work. And I think Fastball is going to need to be the guy to do that. And it looks like they are making a push toward A. Question being, Return does at times rock the sniper rifle out, but gets caught out. At the same time, SupremeAgility shutting down SSaggioo. SupremeAgility wants the third. It looks like some extra body shots being put in there from TTinyy. At the same time, Frostyyy finds another. Bomb goes down, but a 4v2 could be converted, but TTinyy drops. And now it's Frostyyy. Last alive. Both players looking opposite directions and could convert a pinch. 2v4 does not come into play, and just like that, 2 rounds in a row toward the way of blue. This one is not over just yet. And like I said, they find the first pick. They do kind of an odd strategy. Now they have the preferred side of defense. But they have to kind of be able to force players inside of B. And I think it's going to be interesting. Do they force anyone toward A? Do they kind of make a 3 versus 4 gun engagement go down? Do we see Fastball try to flank through bottom red? Some strats that are definitely possible, but early nades out for the offensive team. Of course, being WestR heading in here to round number 9. The gas grenades as well being present, and they might just try to go for the quick plant. But some fire being shown from top red. Fastball doing some work. He actually is at least able to toss out that nade. At the same time, SupremeAgility is able to find a kill. Into 2 versus 3. Fires from the shot, and SSaggioo able to drop one. Player from behind is able to trade him out. That was Fastball, and now Frostyyy finding himself in a 1 versus 2. This would be 3 rounds in a row if Blue can convert this round number 9. And Frostyyy does spot where Fastball is. Based on his position, is basically what we're going to see him go. He's going to try to go toward that window, get a pick, and then from there it's going to make his position and his overall life a lot easier. And he's just waiting. His Fastball glances through, but tries to get the hit markers. Fastball needs to try and stay alive. That's such a difficult shot to hit. And they're most likely assuming where those bullets were coming from. They kind of know that a decent positioning of where he was, and that's the issue with that player being in top red, because now you have 2 guys in top red. Both of them have an opportunity to look at both A and B at any point during this round. You're going to see Frostyyy kind of play his life here. That was just such an awkward play for him to try and make, just because, and not finding that kill and being in top red. I mean, in a matter of moments. I mean, it's like one window to another. You can look at that at both A and that B bomb site. And so not finding that kill, it obviously leaves the issue of not having any advantage whatsoever. But Johnny pulling out the sniper rifle. I like this play. They're doing things new. They're doing some interesting plays. It looks like SupremeAgility not able to turn around just in time. TTinyy is there for the rush. Gets the trade through. And Johnny misses the snipe in the end. However, bomb is planted successfully. But here come the streaks. Can they do any damage is the question. And they don't actually fire any bullets on a Stamino who just got that bomb down. You'd like to think that surely the fighter pilot, of course, can't spot the mountain players, but you'd at least try to fire onto that bomb site, but isn't able to do it. And no one is here right now for the challenge. They're like, at this moment, WestR is going to have to make a quick rush on the bomb site. And that's exactly what they're doing, though. Johnny, last up, the hope for Blue. Finds one. 1v1 versus Return, just needs to play his life and does exactly that. Return does not have enough time to go for the defuse, I believe. We'll see how close he can get. Can he get it in time? I don't believe it's going to be enough. And no, the bomb will explode. And we will be seeing a round 11 forced from the guys on Blue. From 5 rounds to 1, they're now back and force OT. Will we see the guys on Blue make this incredible comeback? Or can WestR finally get their act together? And it will be the guys on Blue who find themselves on offense. Nades being tossed out early, as it looks like a pretty even spread for the defensive team of WestR. As the early rush coming forward, this is a big kill they need to find, and Fastball able to make it work. Doing his role perfectly, and you see that they're going to go for the plant on the opposite side, but Stamino could get weak with this nade. Doesn't end up dropping. Here comes the rush from SSaggioo. Needs to find the kills. Fastball, but not there. Here comes the rush. Trade found for Stamino. However, on the opposite end, it's now a 2 versus 2. TTinyy with that machine pistol. Has to back up. Doesn't have any control, but teammate coming from the flank. Both kills get found, and just like that, from 5-1 down, a huge comeback gets made from the boys on Blue. As SupremeAgility and Stamino hold strong what was a constant fight throughout a number of these 2 versus 2s on this B bomb site. They pick up their pace. They get round after round after round back. And that's not just a map. That's a lot of momentum coming now into map number 2. As WestR has got to be very, very glad right now that this is the best of 5 series, not just a best of 3, because you'd like to imagine the momentum has got to be carrying in when it comes into Arden Forest. But still, that is a insane comeback. You're not going to see many more than that. I mean, you're not going to see any clutches like that very often. let alone when they are in a high-pressure situation like the grand finals. Like, they were up, like they were playing so incredibly well. Or the guys on WestR, like, so they were finding first picks. They were overall taking control over that B-bomb site, but just time after time, we saw Fastball start to have strong performances. Like we said, we start to see them perform some interesting plays. And honestly, if it wasn't for Johnny in that round number 10, finding a clutch kill up close with, I believe it was the machine pistol. Here on Arden Forest, it will be the boys from WestR on the offense off the break, making a typical push here toward B. And it looks like a pretty even spread from the defense, sending 1 through A, as Stamino totally gets caught off guard. And that's just an issue of SupremeAgility not looking the right direction, but picks things back up as his life does get traded in the end. It is now trade after trade. We now find ourselves in 2 versus 2. Fastball somehow able to stay alive, man. I don't know how he does it, but he just happens to dolphin dive around a corner. But Johnny does not receive the same fate as he quickly gets fallen rather. And now Fastball 1v2, hit marker after hit marker. In a position to clutch. Spots Frosty on that B-Dom head glitch, but can't make it work. But that was still kind of an interesting play that we see at the beginning of that round, because Stamino really should have never have died rushing into you, because it should have been SupremeAgility's kind of cut to watch. So when he drops, that's definitely kind of a call-out where Stam is saying, like, hey, SupremeAgility, like, where are you looking at me? Like, why are you not kind of watching my cross? So that's a big loss they end up suffering. Granted, they get the trades, but in the end, when you are the defensive team, you want to try to hold as strong as you possibly can. And obviously for them, they're unable to win that first round. So with that, tide turns. And that map number 1 starts to fade from the memory of the boys on WestR. Up close fight. Johnny actually takes out his teammate along with Return. And in doing so, he ends up taking out his own life. But Fastball somehow, man, finds himself on the flank. It's just a matter of like, okay, where's Fastball at? Oh, he happens to be behind the entire team. So that's obviously pretty cool. But despite Fastball, it was interesting play. His appearance of being able to get on the flank, he will drop in the end. And honestly, I think at this point, if you're blue, right, in any moment, especially on the offensive side, as Tiny fires a few extra bullets in the body there, honestly, you can kind of play behind like Fastball's craftiness, like maybe his trigger discipline or whatever it may be, his ability just to kind of get behind enemy lines. You can really play off of that in both offense and defense, preferably offense, of course, because you're kind of the team running at them, but they kind of need to play by that. And I think if they can kind of maybe support Fastball in those plays, kind of toss maybe a smoke or a nade or a tactical to make his life a little bit easier, they can kind of play around him. And I'm curious to see how those obviously do work out, as this round quickly drops half the players in a matter of, what, 15 seconds? And if you're the offensive team, it's obviously not a preferred situation to be in, because the bomb is down, not planted. And at least SSaggoo's position is known, and Johnny needs to find this kill. Struggled early on, and the reason why it was a 5-1 deficit. Of course, Johnny drops. SupremeAgility is able to find one, and now we find ourselves in a 1v1. SSaggioo versus SupremeAgility. And right now, if you're SupremeAgility, you really need to get this one home. You desperately need to get this one back for your squad, as it looks like the bomb is going to be planted here inside a cabinet. How quick does SupremeAgility try to react? And which point of view is SupremeAgility coming from? Welcome home, says SupremeAgility, as he's able to finish off that kill onto SSaggioo, winning a big 1 versus 1. Finding 2 kills in that round, along with the defuse. He's going to go ahead and let him know, essentially, that he was obviously able to clutch out that one. But big win in the end if you are the guys on blue. Of course, winning that first map the way that you did, definitely shouldn't have by any means. And so with that in the frame of mind, now only a round difference rather than what could have been 3. As Johnny doing Johnny things, doing the work with a sniper rifle off the break. As Johnny finds yet again another kill at the same time, SupremeAgility finding the 3rd, and just like that, SSaggioo quickly wondering what exactly just happened to his teammates. As Fastball holding on that B-Dom head glitch, and SSaggioo making it look effortless. Finds 1, give me 2. Where's Johnny at? Player just in front of him tries to go for the rush, and can SSaggioo get this 1 versus 3? This would be huge for him. Each player challenging him in 1v1 engagements, and SSaggioo, does he check this left corner? And Johnny is just playing this ever so carefully. But up close and personal fight. Who's going to win it? Can it be Johnny? Yes! Here's Johnny. as he's able to clutch out that one in that round number 4. A huge win for the boys on blue. Granted, they're winning them, but they're at such a close rate, as this definitely could be WestR, who's up 4-0 right now. Definitely is possible, man. Back-to-back 1v1 engagements. They've not been easy rounds by any means, but they are rounds nonetheless. Off the break, TTinyy. Nice snipe there on his SupremeAgility. Literally in the middle of throwing a frag. As a return, Rock of the Duck Soup. His players start to dwindle. Johnny. Not similar situations to the last round as WestR kind of gather their heads. Kind of recapped after that 1v1 and work on the strats to get the picks necessary. But the big first blood coming in from TTinyy is exactly what you need to see out of this guy. Granted, that's all he really does in this round, but picks like that totally destroy an overall defensive hold because, like, normally you're going to see kind of 3 players be sent toward that B bomb site, 1 sent toward A. So the fact that he immediately kind of evens out the man count, if not giving his team an overall like 2-man advantage as far as like defense to offense on a particular site, that's huge. But it looks like on offense, by no means is this a sneaky push from the boys on blue. But Stamino gets taken out along with Supreme. Johnny drops, and now Fastball has to do this all by himself, and by no means is this a round that looked to go in their way at any point really during this particular one. But of course, we see the smokes, we see the stuns get tossed out. They had every intention of just trying to get to their bomb site, but they quickly get picked off, and Fastball is left the last alive yet again, as we see in this turnaround, Stamino at 1-6. Definitely struggling at the moment, as we see TTinyy on top at 7-4. Can nearly get that first pick, but since the nades come through, it kind of rattles and shakes up his screen, so he's not able to get the clean pick, but just like that, welcome to 1-7, Stamino, says TTinyy. Is Frosty also taking out SupremeAgility, not really having the strongest performances. His fastball yet again, finding himself behind enemy lines, but can't really make anything work. And this is just a matter of blue, like they're making certain pushes happen, like they're working toward particular sites, but it's just as if it's almost like you have a bunch of different play styles kind of coming together. It's like Johnny with the sniper rifle. I'm not really sure what, kind of Stamino and SupremeAgility's overall role is on the team as far as search and destroy is always considered, but fastball is always on the flank, and it's kind of like those roles can work together, but you have to kind of, that's like, these are roles that kind of get developed over time, and it's just a matter of, like, you're seeing 4 different play styles kind of going on at one time, and they all drop in their particular 1v1 engagement. So it looks like making their way back toward A. Only player back here is going to be SSaggioo, so does get taken out. Nice headshot, and if I'm them, I'm quickly getting this bomb down as fast as possible, but TTinyy makes it in. TTinyy finds a kill, and so this is going to delay that bomb from getting planted. SupremeAgility drops Frosty, and now returned the last alive, rocking the suppressor, actually, on the duck suit from a long range. 1 versus 1. Return for the map. Here's Stamino and finishes him off. The 1 versus 2 for return to bring this series level at 1-1, as Arden Forest will be taken in pretty dominant fashion for the boys on WestR, 6-2. And now with London Docks on the horizon, it's really difficult to kind of predict how this one is going to play out, because of course we talk about St. Marie du Mont. We talk about how amazing of a comeback that was. For those who missed it, that was a 1-5 comeback from the guys on blue. Progressively make it back to that overtime and close it out. But now looking at Arden Forest here, it is a overall dominance being shown from the guys on WestR. 10-5 is what TTinyy ends up finishing off. SSaggioo finishes off 7-4 with 2 plants along with it. But generally, it's just a matter of kind of WestR flexing their muscles, saying, this is the reason why we're in this tournament. We're known for our search and destroy plays, so kind of get used to it. This is what this is what you should be expecting through a lot of our maps, and kind of maybe even showing off to the guys on blue that, hey, that was a fluke. That one was a fluke. Like, we shouldn't have lost that. Like, by no means, if you're up 5-1, should you ever lose a search and destroy by any means. So this could easily be a position where WestR's up 2-0 in the series, and they're not looking at London Docks as if, hey, this is like our mat, this is where we're kind of close things down on. So this should be 2-0. However, it's 1-1. How is Blue's mentality though right now? How do they kind of advance themselves heading into London Docks? You know, when it comes to London Docks, I think that there can definitely be a position to see both Johnny and Fastball especially kind of turn up. I think this is going to be a decent map for them just because this kind of prefers the SMGs up close. When it comes down to kind of going down to that Docks bomb site over on Waterside, when that kind of early SMG battle goes down with the PPSHs, that's like Fastball's resting place. That's like his playground. Is essentially what that A bomb site is going to be over on Docks. Is that it's kind of like those, you know, who can get there first, who can kind of hold that head glitch, who can kind of use that movement or try to get around. That's exactly where Fastball should be placed at when it comes down to this map. Unless like SupremeAgility decides to take that role. But Johnny, of course, can be rocking that AR role from a kind of a back position, kind of make his position known through mid-map, along with rocking that sniper rifle, depending on through that Waterside as well. So I think Blue, as far as like this map, kind of speaking it from what should be the underdog, you know, kind of perspective at this point, what should be a 0-2, you know, disadvantage right at this point. I think this is definitely a position where they can win this map. But like I said, WestR, like TiTinyyy's playing incredibly strong with this, with a sniper rifle. Frostyyy, SSaggioo, like all these guys are having strong performances. Return at any moment can have a strong, consistent performance and go like 10-5 or 11-5 or something like that. So, like I said, who's going to have the advantage? Can Blue kind of close this one out as far as London Docks is considered and be up, or will we see the guys on WestR kind of take another dominant map victory? Docks, it's map number 3 in our current grand final between Blue and WestR in our Prime $1,200 4v4 Search and Destroy here on December 28th. Of course, we do appreciate you guys all for joining us in this kind of late night, early morning battle currently going on between two of these titans here in Search and Destroy. It's currently becoming the morning, rather, depending on your current location, but do appreciate your guys' support regardless as the tournament will progress. We'll see who can grab the advantage at the end of this London Docks, but round number 1, of course, already taking play, and TiTinyy definitely getting kind of caught off guard toward that side statue as he'll be made one with SupremeAgility finding this nice little nade spot, cooks it correctly, and the MK2 fragmentation grenade takes him out. I don't know why they call it that. But hey, it's a frag. It's a frag regardless, and just overall I saw play coming in from SupremeAgility. And like I said, when it comes down to Blue's overall perspective, kind of taking a look at the team who's kind of on the outs, as I believe SupremeAgility actually finishes off there with the hat trick. Like I said, I think Fastball has the opportunity to really shine on this map. There's really a lot of opportunity, I think, where he can kind of show his role on the team, as Johnny does get taken out after finding one off the break, and Fastball just like that, I believe, finishes off with the final 2, making his presence felt early on. As when it comes down to London Docks, a lot of fast rounds, and somehow Fastball is able to find both of these kills on a TiTinyy, as well as on a SSaggioo as well. Incredibly quick first 2 rounds of play, and one that's not to be unexpected at that. Fastball 3-1, SupremeAgility 4-1, early nades being tossed out. We see that smoke actually being thrown, I believe that's from Stamino, onto the A bomb set. That's basically a bait. Essentially, that's all that is. And if Return is able to spot Stamino, he most likely knows that that was a bait, because not really seeing anyone kind of come toward it. Frostyyy pulling out the sniper rifle, takes out Fastball. And now with 2 versus 4 in our midst, and Johnny playing his life incredibly well. Granted, doesn't find the kill, but in every other situation probably would have done so. But Stamino taking out TiTinyy in Return in just a matter of moments. He finds himself in a 1 versus 2. And generally, once he gets this bomb down, if he either plays the time or maybe gets ninja'd on or whatever it may be, if he can clutch this, I mean, he could be toward himself some streaks. Like, this could definitely work out for him very well. I mean, an ace along with a plant in the round, that could be huge right now for Blue. And as throughout the last 2 games, they've never really had a massive advantage. They've kind of always been on the come-up. Finds one. Give me the other onto Frostyyy. Can he find the kill? That's the question. Pulls that machine pistol. Frostyyy currently weak, and yes! Able to find it. A big ace coming in from the man Stamino, as I believe he clutches a 1 versus 2. Might have actually been a 1 versus 3, depending on the current position, but finds both set of kills in quick succession. Plants the bomb down, and I didn't get to see it, but how close is this man to streaks? Let's see where Stamino is currently at. As I believe he could be good to go if we can go and check on Stamino really fast. Okay, so just a few points away, maybe a kill and a half. Away from getting it. No! He ends up dropping. Return is there to spoil the party. Return finding 2 big kills. And that is a huge loss if you're in Blue's position, because now it looks like you're about to lose this round number 4. And you don't have any streaks to work off of. Stamino, why? Why would you rush that? And WestR will grab this round number 4, man. And like I said, that really kind of comes down to me in that play is when Return obviously goes up to find 2 kills. It's just, I'm not sure if it's Stamino not valuing his life, or if it's maybe a call that doesn't get brought up to him. And usually you're not going to have someone kind of sitting on those side stairs from barrel building side, but regardless, I mean, you got to play your life better than that. You're going to have to work a pick, maybe have a bait, maybe you even pull out a sniper rifle or something on those lines. But SupremeAgility missing a crucial sniper shot, needs to find that. In the finals, can't afford to lose positions like that, but fastball finding 2 before Johnny takes him out. Says fastball, slow down a little bit. Going a little bit too quick for me. But 2-on-2. Player number 5 and player number 1 meeting up. SupremeAgility is there to find it. Frosty takes out Johnny, and now we find ourselves in a 1-on-1. Frosty versus SupremeAgility. Frosty reveals his position, and it's a ring around the rosy. You can find it on SSaggioo, but no, it's not going to be there. Frosty will end up falling, and SupremeAgility will give the side of Blue their 4th round, as this one came down to the wire. And that's the reason why a lot of people love this map of London Docks, is because of that middle positioning on that SSaggioo. Ring around the rosy action. Nades tossed out at the beginning of this round. It looks like it will be Return, who does find Stamino for the first blood. Yet again, Stamino being dropped toward, it looks like that middle map area, I believe, is where that kill happens. Tiny? I was going to say, I thought he was in spawn for a second. But kind of holding this backside flank, making sure that a push from fastball is not one that could be likely. Because at any moment, fastball could literally be at your back. It's just I don't know how he does it. I think he can teleport. But a current 3 versus 3. WestR desperately needing this offensive round to go their way. As player number 4, fastball, waiting just around the corner over at this A site. And the absent, you have SSaggioo looking, and there's fastball catching you off from the side. And often, like I said, fastball can obviously be at your face and definitely has solid gun skill. But a lot of the gunfights that we see fastball winning here in Search and Destroy are ones from the back, ones from the side, ones that you're not exactly expecting. So SupremeAgility finds that particular gunfight. We now see a current scoreline of 5-1, as it looks like Arden Forest just replayed over again, but the sides reversed. As these two teams, I mean, definitely evenly matched as far as overall Search and Destroy is considered. Of course, they do have their preferred maps, at least is what it looks like. As Stamino and fastball quickly to find the first 2 frags. An immediate 1 versus 4 for SSaggioo, wondering what just happened to all my teammates. The nade is good, and here comes the second kill as well. Can't do much more than that, granted. It was a decent effort from SSaggioo, however. It is not good enough. We talk about the strong performance in map number 2, the motivation, the advantage that WestR should probably have after winning Arden 4 6 rounds to 2. However, not the case whatsoever. We see Blue come out and win London Docks 6 rounds to just 1. And are now going to find themselves up 2-1 in this series. And I was talking about, man, when it came down to London Docks, I feel like this is a map where fastball can really kind of show out his skills on, because of the fact of having those close-quarter SMG fights, the kills that he's most likely going to be finding when it comes down to being in that A-bomb site over on dock side, over on water side, rather. I mean, this is just a map that was made for fastball. Like, it really was. And, of course, he has an incredibly strong performance on this one, definitely granting his team a huge advantage when it kind of comes down to it. But USS Texas now will be map number 4. And generally, I'm kind of happy if I'm blue in this situation. You know, granted, Johnny has been pretty decent with that sniper rifle. Most likely going to see Johnny versus TTinyy, or maybe even seeing Return also pull out that sniper rifle. I believe in past for WestR, let me actually take a look back at our notes really fast. WestR in their series versus Gravity actually beat Gravity 6 rounds to 3 on this particular map, and it was TTinyy who I believe went 11-5, I want to say, on this one. Could be wrong on that, but I believe he ended up having a really strong performance with that sniper rifle, and it kind of brought them back in that series. So this is a map that we've seen WestR really succeed on, and this map really relies heavily on sniper play, finding those first picks, finding those first bloods, and of course we see Johnny with the Kar 98K on one side, and most likely we'll see TTinyy with it on the side of WestR, as we'll look on with the boys on blue, not the boys of blue, but the boys on blue, heading into their first offensive round as Return. Not rocking the sniper rifle, the STG, however, heading into this one. And you see, I believe that was Frosty. Kind of gets a side peek, knows exactly where one player is, and realizes that, hey, we don't have to force our issue on that side. We can kind of hold up close and personal onto this one over on A. And Johnny in the back lines is going to kill himself. Well, there goes Johnny, as he will meet an unfortunate fate as we get to watch this sniper play coming from, or not sniper play, I guess you could say a long-range machine pistol play. But in that round, it was almost like blue on offense was acting as if it was WestR who was on offense. Like they were literally rushing toward them, and it was kind of playing at the other team's pace, which is not at all what you want to do, as every player dying. In Johnny's position, it was his own, you know, his own fate that decides it, but regardless. Not one player finding a kill from blue. As back and forth, the pace and the advantage goes. As TTinyy says, thank you very much, Johnny. We'll see you later. We'll see you in round number 3, pal. But TTinyy needing to find an ace in this one, as fastball does drop one. Stamino finding the second. And just like that, TTinyy gets dropped, and back and forth we go. Like I said, it's just a matter of one team having an advantage and the other quickly responding. It just goes to show how evenly matched these teams are, but how unevenly matched they are at certain maps as well. And for those who are just joining us, of course, this is the UMG Prime $1,200 4v4 search and destroy. This is the finals, and this is currently map number 4 between these two teams, of course, here on USS Texas. It was blue who won map number 1 at St. Marie du Mans after coming back from a 1-5 deficit and winning that one in round 11. Map number 2 was a different story. We saw WestR win that one in dominant fashion, 6-2. Map we just witnessed on London Docks was an even quicker map, but in favor of blue this time. Well, they won that one 6 rounds to 1. So that just goes to show the difference of pace when it comes down to these two teams has been all but close. Despite a round 11 game, it was one that was heavily in favor of teams who had that drive, who had that momentum. So looking on, Frosty tries to go for the nade. I don't believe he'll find anything with it, but does in fact. He shuts down Johnny at the same time. We find ourselves in a 1 versus 1. SupremeAgility ends up falling, I believe. A big pick coming in from SSaggioo as he drops fastball, quickly goes for the challenge. As that might have been an assisted suicide, I believe. That could have came in from SSaggioo, or might have counted as a kill. Regardless, it happens. And that gives WestR another round in the books. As take a look at that scorecard, not a whole lot of outliers, at least from the WestR side, all but 2 kills. But right now, instead of blue, you see Johnny struggling. 0-3, fastball of 1-2. Johnny really hasn't had the best of performances in their round, or in their map losses. As fastball, yet again, work up close, catching TTinyy off guard. That's exactly what he succeeds at, you know, what he's brought on this team to do. And I'm sure with the recent weapon change, I'm sure fastball was very happy about that. He's known for rocking some interesting strategies, not pulling out anything but the PPSH so far in this map, but I believe his teammate, old teammate rather, Prophet, I think we end up seeing him rock the Thompson a little bit. Shout out to the old Vex crew. But looking on right now, 3-on-2, bomb goes down. Fastball trying to get engaged. And this is exactly what this man can do, right? Totally, and should never have won that gunfight on SSaggioo. But at a disadvantage, a PPSH trying to challenge on a head glitch. He's able to make it work. Drops in that particular exchange to return. But Johnny, 1 versus 2, his opportunity to redeem himself. Misses a snipe, can't find that kill. So just like that, we start to see the rounds go in favor of WestR. As in back-to-back rounds, they're able to secure these. And it really is a matter of those first picks. And we've been seeing a few sniper battles coming in from TTinyy and Johnny, but for the most part, it's kind of been the fastball story as far as trying to find those first bloods along with return. As you see, so far, it is the WestR side. It was curling up 3-1 as far as the round count is considered, but also in those first bloods as well. Really nade tossed out. That could be good for SupremeAgility. However, Hunker rocked from, I believe, return. So no kill going down. However, it's TTinyy who does get the advantage on Johnny, most likely with that sniper rifle. At the same time, SupremeAgility is able to even things out at a 3 versus 3. Fastball. Tossing out that smoke. Just have no idea that SSaggioo is just toward his right side, but quickly gets known of it as his teammate gives it the call out. Gets the trade. Stamino goes for the dolphin dive onto the bomb site, and player number 6, I believe, is back here. Yes, that is going to be Frostyyy. And he might have picked up that sniper rifle off of TTinyy's dead body. Keeping that in mind, fastball thinking the same thing. Frostyyy drops one, and fastball cannot find the second. As it will be return actually revealing that he is pulling out a sniper rifle very close to streaks that are going to give him the defuse here. Is a 4-1 advantage for the boys on WestR. As I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. Like I said, I mean, it has been just a matter of who is feeling hot. Like, who is kind of getting those kills, who's winning round after round after round, who has the momentum. That's the definition of what the series has been, is momentum. Now looking up, return. Close to streaks, has to be aware of that. Fastball finding 2 off the break. Trying to change the tide of this game. As just like that, he earns the assist and also grants streaks. This kill is obviously important, but he will drop. Streaks were earned. Doesn't matter anymore. Somehow Frostyyy was able to dodge that sniper bullet coming in from Agility. And Frostyyy, like I said, 1 versus 3. Bomb in his hands. In a position to potentially go up 5 rounds to 1, but just not looking likely anymore. This should be a round that goes the way of blue. Holding correct positions. Of course, you see Stamino up close, Johnny holding A, and SupremeAgility with that sniper rifle toward B. And they have every position locked down. And honestly, if you're in Frostyy's position, you probably don't want to challenge anything just for streak's sake. You are on offense, so you don't have to worry about the bomb exploding or give away any excess points. And I like play number 2 there, Stamino. Not moving a muscle, not moving an inch to try and challenge this player on Frostyyy. Just because of the head glitch that he currently holds, there's no reason to try and kill yourself. But of course, toward the end of the round, chains get freed. And it looks like no kills will take place. So smart play coming in as streaks, at least the run for streaks is saved. As keeping in mind, though, despite the round victory, Johnny continuing to struggle. 0-5. Definitely not having the best series by any means. This could definitely be the difference maker between this comeback or a map number 4 loss. Round 7, focused up. Bomb gets planted here from Stamino. As we'll see how Frostyyy and co try to engage. Looks like player number 7, TTinyy, is on a little bit of a flank. Needs to win that battle. Johnny in a big position. Does get dropped, however. It looks like both players drop at similar moments. As it will be Frostyyy, who does earn streaks along with grabbing this defuse. Not far off of that artillery barrage either, as I believe a few shots tagged in the side there. A few extra bullets from SSaggioo and TTinyy into the body of Johnny. I guess letting him know that you're not playing the best, buddy. And rather unfortunate if you are in Johnny's position just because of the fact of having some problems. But if you are return and co, you definitely want to kind of play off these streaks. Waiting for that score streak to go away as it looks like fastball drops. That's exactly what you don't want to see if you're a fan of blue right now. for on the side of blue. You can't afford to lose fastball in positions like this. He's been the man who has gotten your first bloods. Of course, for those who are obviously witnessing the Concaster, most players, if not all of them, Rocky Mountain, which does conceal their identity on the map, so it didn't look like he was just trying to waste that score streak. He actually can't see them. Yeah, looks like SupremeAgility in the back lines, trying to find a pick. 3-on-3, now make it a 3 versus 2. 2v2 now. Stamino was able to get the trade, but here comes SSaggioo, able to drop one. As it comes down to Johnny. Can he keep their tournament alive? But no, it does not happen, as this map number 4 will go the way of WestR, and just like that, we are going to see a map number 5 forced on Sainte-Marie-du-Mont. As I just don't understand this series. I really don't. I don't get it. Because back and forth we go. Map number 1 was a round 11 victory, but it was a 5-1 advantage for WestR. We see a huge comeback, a huge swing of events go the way where Blue is able to make the comeback. And then on map 2, we see WestR win this one in 8 rounds of play. They win that one 6-2. We see map number 3 go the way of Blue. They win that one 6-1. And then we see WestR win map number 4, 6 rounds to 2. I mean, these have been dominant victories. However, in the overall scheme of things, it has been very close. And it's just, it's really hard to predict because it's a matter of like, okay, whoever goes up 3-1, unless we're talking about Sainte-Marie-du-Mont, which is map number 5, of course, is most likely going to win the series, which normally is the case. But it's just a matter of like, who's hot, who's feeling good, who's, guns are firing at a rapid rate. And maybe it's just the fact of communication or chemistry, kind of being down in round count can maybe diminish a lot of these players' confidence, and so they're not calling out enough. I mean, like we've seen that happen and be a factor in a lot of, even high-level pro teams as well, is kind of having that overall, spirit, having that chemistry, that communication come into whenever you're especially down in games. And maybe that's the factor right now. Maybe it's just the fact of, both teams having a, strong map pool when it comes down to 2 maps out of the 4. I'm not exactly sure, but of course, we're going to revisit Sainte-Marie-du-Mont. That was, of course, map number 1 I talked about. We saw a 5-1 comeback, really, from the side of Blue. And I think it's honestly a fantastic place to kind of revisit because, like I said, we've seen Blue take 2 maps. We've seen WestR take 2 maps, both not in dominant fashion for Blue, but essentially you can kind of call it that. But generally, this should be a series that's closed up for WestR. And I'm not sure coming into this map number 5 if they're down, but you wouldn't think they would be after they just took map number 4, but generally, you should be feeling on top of the world. You should be feeling as if, hey, if we win this, we technically won this series 4-1. Like, they only beat us technically on one map that should have gone that way, which was, of course, on Arden Forest. Which was on London Docks, excuse me. So, with that, map number 5, the final map to decide who will win tonight's UMG Prime $1,200 4v4 Search and Destroy tournament here on December 28th. Will it be Blue? Will it be WestR? Make sure, guys, this is the final map of tonight. Put your predictions in the chat. It is map number 5 here on Sainte-Marie-du-Mont, taking place between Blue and WestR. Winner of this map will be crowned the UMG Prime $1,200 4v4 Search and Destroy champions here for December 29th. As looking on here for our first offensive round, it will be the boys on WestR to kick things off. Kills being exchanged early with who other than Fastball to at least chalk his name up in the beginning. And SupremeAgility quick to find another. As bomb is dropped, looks like TTinyy is there to go ahead and grab it. A close and personal fight. SSaggioo not in a position to trade. TTinyy is there with the frag though. Finding one, and it looks like player number 7, Stamino, doesn't spot him. So SupremeAgility not going to have a call out. Has no idea that this kill should be coming his way. However, the fast reaction time will be secured. And it will be SupremeAgility along with the boys on Blue and grab this first round. Honestly, every time I say SupremeAgility, I want to act as if that's a team name because like his name almost sounds like it should be an organization. However, it's not. But still well known for his Search and Destroy play. I believe this guy actually finished second in the second annual Memorial Tournament, $10,000 tournament that with the Bean Squad roster, and of course very interesting to see. Kind of a group who has obviously played the competitive scene, especially back in IW. And adding a Search and Destroy kind of known player to their roster. A lot of S&D kind of stars being picked up heading into World War II and so far throughout the season. And it's definitely kind of changed things up for a lot of the competitive teams and fans alike. Fastball, not able to win it. An incredibly fast reaction time. They're coming in from return. Really hops at the bomb site, finds the kill and backs up. And now we see three players trying to enter in, but SupremeAgility has found 2 of them. 2 versus 3. Stamino gets picked off the bomb site. However, SupremeAgility is here, and he'll find the final 2 as well. The ace locking things down in a matter of moments, as picking up exactly when he has to. SupremeAgility finding 2 in top red, and 2 just toward the entrance of this radio tower bomb site. Doing the work necessary, taking out the trash, is SupremeAgility in that round number 2, as he's currently 6-0. We actually need to check and see SupremeAgility as far as streaks is considered really fast. So literally 25 points off of streaks, and it's only been the first 2 rounds. TTinyy, though, taking out fastball. Big nade coming in from this man. Has been able to cast over this guy TTinyy through the beginning of World War II, even before that, kind of when Ghost was a title that a lot of people were kind of generating toward to get practice for World War II. Kind of that boots on the ground action. Was very, very talented at search and destroy, especially. Was a wizard with a sniper rifle on that particular game. I believe also played for Exomoon at CWL Dallas, and played very well actually in the open bracket. Took down SupremeAgility, a very well-known French team, the 2nd seed actually in that tournament. And definitely made a name for himself in that one. So definitely trying to kind of rise to the ranks, playing with a very solid search and destroy crew. And SupremeAgility trying to come on the flank. No ace this time. And it's not even 1 kill found for the boys on blue, as generally you can't really be relying on 1 player to kind of get things done. Granted, it's great that SupremeAgility gets the ace. But even before that last round, where SupremeAgility finds the final 2, I mean, Stamino gets just gets absolutely ripped off of that head glitch. Fastball ends up losing a pretty crucial gunfight, as the, I think it was Return, kind of enters into it as well. So, only man with the current hot shot is SupremeAgility, and Johnny still continuing to have problems. Finishes off 0-7, didn't call it out, but of course is added to the agency there on USS Texas. But a sticky grenade. Catch, says fastball. Quite literally throwing a pitch that can't be caught. As getting close and personal onto this A site, fastball watching over his teammates. They have top red control, and now they're getting ready to enter toward back barn, but no. Player number 4 and player number 2 are here. SupremeAgility kind of calling things out, and now fastball constantly switching up his positioning. Needs to find at least 1. Give me 1. Can he find the second is the thing. Player just around the corner is Frosty. 1 versus 3. Machine pistol out, but nothing left to do with it. As it is 3 rounds to 1. As the boys on blue have got the early advantage. The exact opposite from what we saw on map number 1. We actually saw the boys from WestR be up in total 5-1. And what a perfect resting place to close out this series on is here on St. Marie. In this round number 5, this is kind of a make or break round, I think it's fair to say, for WestR. I mean, the difference between 3-2 and 4-1 is just absolutely absurd. I mean, it's all going to come down to first blood like this. Return, steady shots, finds 1. Give me 2. Can't find it, though. SupremeAgility doing the damage. As we find ourselves now in a 3-on-3. Bomb is down, and no one is there to grab it. And it looks like, I believe it's, I can't really see what player that is exactly, but one player kind of lingering inside of that bomb site for the side of blue. But SupremeAgility, Stamino combining for a few, as SSaggioo now finds himself in a 1v2. Can't make it out. And just like that, 4 rounds to 1. This is looking familiar. Looking ever too familiar. However, roles are reversed. Can blue continue to win these rounds with literally having Johnny not finding a kill? And honestly, at this point, they're just kind of handing him the objective, saying, you know what, he's just not playing incredibly strong. And honestly, based off the player that I know Johnny is, he's probably telling the guys that, hey, I'm going to go and grab the bomb. Like, I'm not playing well. Let me go and grab the bomb. Let you guys slay out. Let SupremeAgility do his work. Because, by the way, SupremeAgility is 10-1. He's feeling confident, and he has a reason to feel that way. Him and fastball with the SMGs up close. Finds SSaggioo on the stairs. Entering in from the front door of Restaurant, able to escape with his life. And you see both Return and Frosty trying to seek out where he could be. But he's the man who has escaped and finishes off Return as well. Final player gets dropped, and just like that, 5 rounds to 1. A total role reversal from map 1 in this grand final series. It was WestR who was in this exact same scenario in map 1. And this is when we saw Blue start to make the comeback. They won 5 straight rounds. And can WestR, after suffering that horrible defeat, make the exact same storyline happen in this situation? Early kill found for Return and finds one through the wall as well. Starting to heat up. And granted, it's about time. SupremeAgility, though, is still alive. That's the main problem that you have to be facing off against. This man is 12-1. After 6 rounds. 6.5 rounds, rather. Frosty able to take him out, and now Johnny 1 versus 3. Not in a position by any means to try and clutch out this round. Of course, it would be incredible if he was able to do so, but if you are the boys on WestR, you're most likely trying to spread out. Maybe even trying to be in a position to allow certain players to find a kill to increase their streaks. And Johnny does not have a frag to try and maybe kill himself to make sure that bomb doesn't explode so the free points do not go away. But here we go. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not saying a word. Feel free to say it in chat. I'm not saying a word. 5-2. WestR, they secure this, and it's really all off the back of a fantastic beginning for Return, right? He finds those 2 huge kills at the beginning inside of bottom red. And so loading here toward round number 8, SupremeAgility has streaks to work with. Something to keep in mind, not just for this offensive round, but for future ones as well. We don't see them working toward that B bomb site. A lot of teams, when they have streaks on St. Marie du Mont, prefer to kind of work over toward A. And maybe they're thinking that in the back of their head, so they're trying to kind of play off of the knowledge that WestR probably thinks that they have. But here come the streaks. Nothing found, though. Maybe not even any knowledge. As Return, yet again, finding beginning kills. And SupremeAgility, though, able to drop 1. Johnny, yet again, left. And his last leg, as he will fall 1v2 in this situation, does not go his way. As WestR grabs another round, man. I'm smirking a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I'm smirking a little bit. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying a word. 5 rounds to 3. SupremeAgility is 14-3. We'll see what he can try and do. Him and Return have been the masters of those first bloods. Return has 5 first bloods in this match, in this game. And Fastball takes out his teammate with an early nade. That's the worst of possibilities at this current moment. SupremeAgility is at least able to even out the man count while coming around the corner. Return is able to keep his teammate alive. 2v2. Frosty doing some damage, and now SupremeAgility is the last man up. 15-3 is SupremeAgility. He has a streak to work with. Spots the head of Return. But Return knows he's here. Return goes for the challenge and finds it. A huge kill for Return. An unbelievable sequence of events are beginning to take place as a kill that definitely should have gone the way of SupremeAgility. But Return is a step ahead. I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying anything. I think we have to stand over SupremeAgility. I don't care if he even dies. Like, at this point, it's like as if he dies, there's no chance. Early nade. Can this go round 11, or can the boys from Blue clutch this one out? As Fastball drops, being involved in the first blood, taking out his teammate in the round prior to this one, and also dropping to nades. Kills happening, a Return finds 2. Johnny, last alive again. A 1 versus 3, gets the headshot. 2 players in front of him. Can he find any of these? Pinch coming in, and we are seeing a round 11. What are we watching? What is this series? In map 1 on St. Marie du Mont, for those who weren't here, on map 1 on St. Marie du Mont, WestR was up 5 rounds to 1, and we saw the boys on Blue make the full comeback and won this one in 6-5. Loading in here after the entire series takes place in map 5 on the exact same map, we see Blue on the opposite end go up 5 rounds to 1. And now we've seen WestR respond in 4 rounds straight. Who will win this one? 1 round to decide it all. Game 5, round 11. It will be WestR who is on the offense. And both teams, as expected, are playing passive. A first blood would be big. You've got 2 players who have gone off for their team. In return, he's got something to work with. However, here comes Agility from the skies. Johnny finds the first blood on the return, taking him out and limiting him. A huge first blood. And now the offensive team, down a man, has got to get something to work with because there's only 37 seconds left in this final round of play, unless they get the bomb down. They have to find a pick, and honestly, if you're Blue right now, back up, let them make the play. SupremeAgility right around the corner, and Frosty doesn't spot him. Agility knows he's here. Agility going for the rush. Does he have time to stop this bomb plant from going down? Does take him out. 4 versus 2 in favor of Blue. It's up to TTinyy. It's up to SSaggioo now. 1v4. Bomb is down. Can he make the most incredible clutch in online UMG history? No, it will not go through. The defuse comes in, and just like that, Blue will prevent what could have been a utter catastrophe as they win this one in Game 5, Round 11. The storylines do not get much better than that. Congratulations to this squad on Blue. SupremeAgility, Johnny, Stamino, and Fastball. Take a look at that scoreline. 16-5. 16-5 for SupremeAgility. Unbelievable, as he quite literally carried the team on his back in this final map of play. Unreal stuff from this man on St. Marie Dumas. I mean, literally, that was just it leaving a smile on my face. I love stuff like that. I mean, that is just utterly incredible to watch. And I don't even know. Let's just pull up the map screen. Let's just kind of break down what exactly took place throughout this entire series. For those who weren't here, you missed one of the most insane series that I've watched in a very long time, at least as far as Search and Destroy is considered. So, of course, heading into this final, a lot of things on the line. Both these teams have obviously faced off against a number of solid competitors throughout this. Blue beating EU Cadets, beating a few other solid teams as well, like Zodiac. WestR just beating a solid Gravity team at that. So both these teams having a lot of confidence heading into this best-of-5 series. We end up seeing on Game 1, St. Marie Dumas, the side of WestR goes up 5 rounds to 1, and we end up seeing Blue make a full-on comeback, winning 5 rounds straight to win that one in overtime. However, heading into map 2, you're thinking, okay, well, Blue's got to have a lot of momentum. WestR's got to be down on themselves. Not at all the case. WestR ends up closing that one out 6 rounds to 2. Heading into map number 3, Search and Destroy on London Docks. After WestR kind of winning that one in a dominant fashion, do they now have the momentum? Not at all. Blue is able to close out London Docks in such prime and easy fashion, kind of walking around the side of WestR, making them look silly, with Fastball having an insane performance on that particular map. Definitely his strongest one of the entire series. So now heading in to Game 4, USS Texas. The side of Blue is currently up 2-1. Do they close it out, especially on a map that's kind of non-preferred toward at least most Search and Destroy stars? Not at all the case. Every question being basically put into, like I said, every question kind of being not answered the way that you'd most likely expect it to be. WestR wins USS Texas in dominant fashion. Every single map in between was dominated, except for at the end. And of course, we see here in Game 5 comes down to round 11. And before that even took place, Blue is up 5 rounds to 1 in an exact same scenario that we saw in Game 1. However, the roles were reversed, and this time it was Blue who was up instead of WestR. But it's those round 11s, double round 11s, that take place on St. Marie Dumas between both of these teams, and both times it goes the way of Blue. So, utterly incredible series, I think it's fair to say. We got to give a huge GGs to, of course, both of these teams. Of course, congratulations to Blue for winning this particular title and being crowned your UMG Prime at $1,200 4v4 Search and Destroy champions, of course, here for December 29th. Massive GGs to, of course, Johnny, Stamino, Fastball, and SupremeAgility, especially in that final series for that final map, for SupremeAgility. It literally played his heart out and had one of the best Search and Destroy performances in a last map final that I've seen in a very, very long time. Of course, like I said, massive GGs to WestR, TTinyy, Frostyyy, and SSaggioo. Those guys had an insane tournament run as well, played some really solid talent throughout the tournament. And very, very impressed by this group as well, who definitely could have proved themselves as far as the search and destroy game. I think it was Tiny who was tuning out a little bit earlier, saying he was looking for a squad. And this group, of course, known for search and destroy. They obviously make it to the finals and have a very strong performance. But I believe this blue team, speaking on the opposite side, is a full-on organization kind of looking, or not full-on organization, but is a full-on team looking for an organization heading into NOLA, as far as at least my knowledge is considered. Recently kind of picking up SupremeAgility. It's going to be added toward this group. I know some roster changes have gone down to kind of bring them all together, but at least in Search and Destroy, they can win some rounds. They can obviously win some rounds, and don't face them off on St. Marie Dumont, because you're definitely going to have a round 11 probably every time. So with that in mind, if you guys, of course, did enjoy the tournament, we obviously do appreciate your guys' support.